Welcome to the Taking the Lead podcast, where we empower people to be unstoppable. I'm Christina Hepner with my co-hosts Leslie Hoskins and Timothy Cuneo. It's a busy time right now for us here at Leader Dog, isn't it, Leslie?
Oh my gosh, there is so much going on, which, I mean, let's be honest, it is always busy at Leader
Yes.
Dog. There is always something going on, but I would say the most exciting thing we have going on is prepping for our camps this summer. This summer, we're going to not only have our virtual summer experience camp, which is something we've only been able to offer the last 2 years, but we're also going to be opening up our in-person summer experience camp. So 2 ways to join camp this year, and we're really, really getting pumped. Those applications are already rolling in.
Yes, and I'm excited. I've heard so much about it. This would be my first experience seeing it virtually and on campus. And I heard it's really cool because the teens get to come on campus and they get to work with a guide dog and the white cane and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm excited to witness it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we do all of the things. We go rock wall climbing, zip lining. Sometimes we've gone and played beat kickball, tandem bike riding. Honestly, the best part, though, is just that kids are coming from all over the country and coming on our campus at Leader Dog and getting to know one another. I mean, so many times, like Timothy has mentioned in his story, he didn't know anybody else who was blind. And a lot of that is that similar for our campers. You know, they don't know any other teens like themselves who are going through the same thing. So it's so nice to connect, whether it be virtually or in person, you know, and kind of make those friendships and those support networks.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And then they get to grow those friendships for life, too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Thanks to social media, too. I mean, they stay connected, which is really fun. But
Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Yes.
Am I too old?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Timothy. Unfortunately, the virtual camp is for 14 to 17-year-olds. And I think you're just out of that age bracket. And our in-person camp is for 16 and 17-year-olds only. I know it's a close call, Timothy. Maybe next,
Timothy, we'll plan our own camp, you know,
All right. Okay.
You know what? You can join, Timothy, which I think you are planning on, is dinner in the dark. That is an adult activity that's still happening.
Yes, virtual this year, but we're getting the kits and stuff together, and there's still tickets available because now you can attend from anywhere. I'm attending in my sweats at home with my dog.
That's the debate, right? Some
Yeah.
people are going dressy and having a really nice, classy night in. Other people are going to be sweats and hair in a ponytail. It's a tough call.
Yeah, sweats.
Timothy, what will be your attire?
Oh, I'm gonna get me at least a tie on, I guess.
There you go.
Some sweatpants and a tie. That's classy.
Sweatpants and
Perfect.
don't tell nobody.
Best of both worlds. That's what I say. Also, so you know, we have so much going on with events that we're planning for and happening now. But the most exciting thing is we have an email address.
Woo-hoo.
So if you guys have questions or ideas for our podcast, it's takingthelead@leaderdog.org. And that we'll put that out on social media as well. But yeah, you can, email us, ask us questions, or submit things that you want to hear on this podcast too.
Absolutely. We're super excited about that.
Any input would help.
Yes. And you can get those dinner in the dark kits still online at our website, leaderdog.org, as well as find those camp applications. So if you or you know somebody who is blind or visually impaired who's anywhere between 14 and 17 years old, please do have them check out our website. It is the most fun camps ever. I've been honored to be a part of them the last, oh my gosh, this will be my 8th camp. And it is honestly such a fun week. So we look forward to hopefully meeting all these new campers. Okay, well, along with all that exciting news, we also have a wonderful guest for today's episode. We are excited to introduce you to another one of our Leader Dog clients who was matched with our 20,000th guide dog named Legacy.
Yes, I know so many of you have followed Legacy's journey, and now you get to hear about Brett Bowman. I got to meet him when he was on campus, and he was recently here, and Legacy is his first guide dog. So we're so excited to hear more about his story.
I'm so excited to welcome Brett to the podcast. Brett, tell us about yourself.
So my name is Brett Bowman, of course. So this is my first leader dog that I've gotten. And the first thing I will say is Legacy is my heart. He is my everything. I love him so dearly. But I recently just went blind about 2.5 years ago. I actually lost my sight from having a double lung transplant. And about 2 weeks after that, that's when I lost my sight. Now, since then, I took a year off school and everything to kind of just, try to get trying to get used to my new life and trying to evaluate myself and say, where should I head? I changed what I was doing for what I was going for, because I was actually going to school to be a commercial pilot. So I had to totally change up everything. But I'm super excited about where life is going. And I think, having this all happen, it's not perfect, but it's made me so appreciate life and appreciate all the things around it. And one of the biggest things I will say is getting Legacy has changed my life. He's been the best thing that's happened to me since I lost my sight. He really has helped me so much.
Wow, that's an incredibly impactful story, Brett, and so drastic and so quickly. So 2.5 years ago, you went in for a double lung transplant and then lost your vision a couple weeks after that. And so in those 2.5 years before getting Legacy, what was it that kept you going? How did you stay motivated or encouraged, or what were some of the things that influenced you along the way?
Right. So I would say the biggest things is, having a really amazing family. My mom and dad are my everything too, and they always push me, but they know, what to say. And, right when it happened, it was really hard, but, it took me, I would say, a couple months. And I think that, to kind of just acclimate and say, you know what, this is my new life. And this is just, I got to roll with it. And as soon as, when I was in the hospital, actually, there was an O&M instructor, as soon as I lost my sight there, and they put a cane in my hand and said, you just got to go with it for a while and figure it out. And he said that the best thing that will ever happen to you is to get a guide dog. And I was like, you can get a dog for this? I didn't even know you could. And I was like, I want to get a dog. He's like, well, you're not ready yet. You gotta, keep, you gotta be weight cane certified, and you need more time. And I was like, okay. So I kept pursuing O&M, and then I linked up with Leader Dog and got on the list. And then, they came and evaluated me and said I need a little bit more time with O&M. So I kept doing my O&M stuff, and then finally, I was ready to get a guide dog, and then, getting Legacy, and it's been an amazing process.
Brett, 2.5 years. Some people who go through events like that and something you went through, I think that's amazing how short of a time. I think about, people that go through other tragic events or things like that, and it takes them years. So, it shows that you had that support system. You had an orientation and mobility or a white cane instructor there to help you, and you had these resources. And I think it's so important to know that they're out there, because you said, like you just said, you didn't know you could get a guide dog until somebody told you. And Leslie, I think we hear that all the time at Leader Dog.
Oh my gosh, I know. Just listening to your story, I was so excited to hear that already in the hospital, they were handing you a cane and introducing you to orientation and mobility and that white cane training so many times. Like Timothy has shared, he went so many years, almost half a lifetime, without even knowing these skills exist and or where to get them. So I'm delighted to hear that you had that support, and that your family was encouraging, and that you found Leader Dog on top of it, and came to Leader Dog to start your journey with Legacy. So we do want to talk a little bit about what training is like on our campus in Rochester Hills. So we offer guide dog training in a couple of different formats, but you came and spent 3 weeks with us on our campus in Rochester Hills. Can you tell us, what was that like?
Yeah, so, everyone at Leader Dog is amazing. Everybody. So I came for the 3 weeks, and I'll tell you that 3 weeks is the only 3 weeks that I've ever been away from my home. So it was, different. But I'll tell you what, those 3 weeks changed my life for forever in a good way. The first couple days, you're just kind of making sure that, the dog, you're walking with your cane, you're doing routes, and they're kind of just making sure that the dog that they picked for you is the right dog, you and your instructor. And then on day 3 or 4, that's when you get your dog. And that is the most exciting day. The day, that's the day that you look forward to. And I was so excited because I didn't know anything about Legacy before I came to Leader Dog. I just now am following all the social media stuff and everything. So when I heard about Legacy when I was there, someone was like, there's this dog named Legacy. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't know there was a dog named Legacy. I was like, that is the coolest name for a dog. And this kid that was room next to me, he's like, I want him too. I was like, I want him too. I said, that's a cool dog. And I had no idea that I was getting Legacy. And later, that next day, they tell me what dog I get, and I'm getting Legacy. And he runs in, and he melted my heart. And I've never loved something so much in my life. And he is just so graceful, and he's got this little spunky, personality. But when you put that harness on him, he's ready to go. And it's so incredible how they can train a dog to do these things. But I would say that, the whole process itself there for the 3 weeks is, you get a lot of training with the dog, and whatever situation that you're going to be put in at home, you're going to do it in training. They're going to make sure of it, and they're going to make sure you're ready to go home with that dog. And I would also say the food is really good.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Love
it
that
is.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. And I would say everyone, all the RAs, they're just all amazing people, and you can't go wrong. Leader Dog is the absolute best, hands down.
So while you're at Leader Dog, we've got other clients there, and whether it be for O&M
Yeah.
or getting the guide dog, what was that like with you? Because I loved it because you were there familiar with people with the same problem.
Yeah, and that's so, like you were saying, you didn't know anybody that was blind before Leader Dog. I didn't either. So I grew up in a city where there was no one even blind that went to my high school. I played high school football my whole life and everything since I was young. I didn't know anybody that was blind. And then after that, I knew people that had, that were deaf, but no one that was visually blind. So going to Leader Dog and looking and seeing everyone that, has the same problem that you do, it's something that you can bond and you can talk to people about that kind of understand what you're going through. I actually met someone through being there that there's a couple of people that I still talk to this day. It's, friendships that I'll have forever now. So it's just incredible, the bond that you'll have with people, your dog, even your trainers, you know what I mean? I mean, it's amazing. It truly is.
I love hearing that. I think that's one of my favorite things about Leader Dog as well, and clients coming in, whether it be for O&M or guide dog training. That's where you can learn so much just from other clients, tips and tricks on using your phone, tips and tricks for going, and cooking in the kitchen, or orientation, different things. Of course, your instructors are there to teach you all the technical skills with the cane and with the guide dog, but honestly, just kind of making that community and that support network of people who get it. And so, you can pick up the phone and call somebody and just say, today was hard, and they're going to understand on the other end. That is so meaningful. So I am so glad that you built those friendships.
Yeah. And we also have an alumni page on Facebook that our alumni are a part of. And I love going onto that and seeing how they're all connecting together. So not only are they, connecting over the phone, but they have this whole private group on Facebook where they can talk to each other, and they post questions and pictures of their dogs. And sometimes I'll just go on and look, because I monitor it, and look and see what people are talking about and connecting about. And it's such a great thing. And Brett, did you feel, after those 3 weeks on campus and you and Legacy were, heading home, how did you feel? Did you feel prepared to take on this new journey with Legacy?
Right. So as soon as I got Legacy, I was like, oh my gosh, this is, I was so excited. But the biggest thing, like you said, was I ready to go home? At first, I was not, because there were certain things I haven't done with a dog. But I would say by the end of that 3 weeks, I was so comfortable going home, and I was so excited to go home and do my routes that I've been doing with my cane and places that I used to go with my cane. But doing it with the dog now, and it just transitions, from the cane to the dog. And it's so much easier with the dog. But yeah, by the time those 3 weeks were done, I was totally ready to rock and roll.
And so you went home with Legacy, which I want to be clear. Legacy, I mean, all of our dogs, guide dogs are a big deal, but Legacy was our 20,000th dog. So when we're talking about Legacy, there's a following kind of behind Legacy already, because we were really promoting the 20,000th dog.
What page, Instagram, all that.
Yes. And so you went home with the Legacy, which was also puppy raised by some of our guide dog mobility instructors. So there was kind of a trio of guide dog mobility instructors.
Amazing people.
And Brett, I know you got to meet your puppy raisers when you were there.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't cry a lot, but that was something that made me cry. It's just amazing, how someone can be, they can take in a dog like that, which I would find very hard to give up. You know what I mean? You create that bond and, they're training them up. But when I talked to them, and they heard my story and, this is what they love to do. And it when they see that dog go out, it helped me, it makes them feel good, they said, and that's why they do it. But it's just so truly amazing how someone can open their home and open their heart to a dog like that and train it and then be able to, give it up. I think that it's incredible, because not everyone could do that. Not everyone can do what Leader Dog can do, and because it's the whole organization is amazing. And like I said, it's changed my life for the best.
So tell us what it's like going to work with Legacy.
So I go to work I work at Target. So a typical day is me and Legacy getting there at 7 in the morning. Me and him, he takes me around, and I clean like in electronics, and I clean all the freezer doors every day. It has to be clean. And then me and him walk back up front, and we do carts. And not pushing carts, just cleaning them. And I line them up in a line. That way guests, when they come in, can just grab them and take them and go. And me and Legacy do it together. And people were like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. And I'm like, thank you so much. And he loves the attention and loves people. He's just, he's the greatest. So,
yeah.
And he's so calm, he can be energized when he needs to. He can be very energetic. And when it's time to just take it easy, he just can chill out. So I love him so much. Oh. So he's spoiled.
Love that. And Brett, I know you worked at Target, obviously, before you got Legacy as well. So what is that difference like from, before having Legacy to now working with a Legacy every day?
Right, yeah. So I would say and my manager was telling me this, that cleaning wise, I do it a lot more efficient. I actually shave off about a half hour of time, because Legacy can move a lot quicker. We can, I move a lot quicker with Legacy than I did with my cane, just because, it just is how it is. And he is so sure of himself and will navigate around. There's objects that change. They change stuff and put different things in the middle. And the cane, you have to hit everything to kind of. But with him, he just goes around it, and we go on our own. And I targeted him to go to these certain areas. So he just knows what we do, because we have a routine down. And I've done it so many times with him now that it's just like second nature. And It's amazing, and it actually it makes my life so much easier. That's what it does. It makes your life so much easier. So, yeah.
Well, as if I didn't already love Target, it makes me love Target even more. Nothing excites me more than Target. So I'm so happy to hear that they have been so accommodating and such a wonderful place to work as well. That's awesome.
They have. Yeah, they're the best. They are.
That is awesome. And so now, does Legacy have to wear the red polo as well, or?
So that's so funny. So he actually has a Target scarf he wears, and he wears a name tag that says Legacy.
I
on
love
it.
that.
That's cool.
That is so
So
cool.
yeah.
You'll have to send us a picture of that. We need to see that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Please.
I got that.
All right.
That is awesome. And so you and Legacy have been working together for how many months now? It hasn't been too long, right?
No, about 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too long.
So what would you say, I'm just curious, like what's the most surprising thing since you got home from class, you're on your own, just you and Legacy, what is something that you've been most surprised by?
I would say how, again, the efficiency, doing things like, I have a grandpa that lives about a mile away from where I live. And me walking with a cane, it takes me a while. And with the dog, I can do it. I can make it there in probably 15 minutes, which is pretty quick. With me walking, it might take me over an hour just because of, navigating around. But just, I get places so much quicker. And then, of course, I got a buddy with me 24/7. When I'm in the house and I hear a sound or whatever, he's going to check it out too. And, if someone's coming up to the house, he's like a second, person with eyes and ears. And, they love you so unconditionally. And it's just, it surprised me how efficient everything is with him. Everything you do with the cane, you're going to do a lot quicker with the dog.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the biggest differences, between traveling with a cane and with a guide dog. A cane is to detect obstacles and objects in your path.
Yep.
So, oftentimes you are running into that park bench or getting that crack on the sidewalk. So it does take a little bit more time to travel versus with a guide dog. Guide dogs are meant to take you around those obstacles. And of course, that's going to make you travel a little bit faster. And it really is a personal preference. Some people have a really hard time holding onto a guide dog harness and trusting a dog, because with the cane, you're a little bit more in control, obviously. And so handing over the reins a little bit to that guide dog, of course, we know it is a complete team effort and you don't just hold on and go. You're doing a lot of work there as well. And I do love hearing, the differences between the cane and guide dog. And just once you go through that cane experience and you have those cane skills, it's sometimes like upgrading to the Mercedes, if you will, and getting the keys to the car. And that kills me to say as an O&M instructor because I'm pro cane over here, but I totally understand.
But like Timothy has mentioned before, you got to keep those skills up.
You got to keep them up. You got to keep them up.
Yes.
Yes, you definitely... Yeah. So I do that too. Yep.
Yes. That is good to know. And Leslie is smiling big over here right now. She's very happy to hear that you're keeping your skills up. Brett, too, you went back to school. You said you had to change direction. So what are you going to school for right now?
I'm going to school to be a sports massage therapist.
That's awesome.
So you're a big sports fan.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Well, I like working with athletes and injuries and trying to get people back to, be able to get back on the field or whatever whatever it is. Some people are just like, big into training and getting them back in so they can do their workouts more, so that's what I'm going to school for. I'm actually, right now I'm in clinicals, so, I have different rotations, neuromuscular. I'm actually going to be double board certified in neuromuscular massage and sports massage therapy.
Wow.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's the dream job for you in Legacy? Where do you want to end up?
I actually already have a job offer lined up that I'm going to be taking. It's a private practice that deals with professional athletes, and we do a little bit of headache, which that I qualify as that for the neuromuscular. Dealing with people that have chronic headaches, migraines, I'll be able to take care of that too.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
that is-
congratulations.
That's not
Thank
easy to
you.
do. So you need to be congratulated. For
No,
doing that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, love that. Brett, is there anything else that you want to add about, either your journey at Leader Dog or anything you want to share with people?
Yeah, I would say, if you're, someone that's, using a cane right now and, you're thinking about getting the dog, but you're just not sure, I would say go for it. I would say get the dog. Because it will change your life, and it will change your life for the best. These dogs love you so unconditionally, and they are so amazing out in the world doing all these different things that you need them to do. If you have to work, go to school, whatever, Legacy does everything with me, and he makes my life easier. And that's what I would tell you. If you want your life to be easier, getting the guide dog is definitely one of those things.
That is amazing. And I just want to mention, I know so many people followed Legacy's journey. Well, now you can follow Legacy and Brett's journey because we're leaving that page up on our website. And we're going to add this podcast on there. And I was actually able to be there when Brett and Legacy met, and I filmed it. It should be already out on social media by this point, and it will be on the website as well. So you guys will be able to view that meet and greet, it was so cool to see. I mean, Brett explains it here, but I loved being able to witness that. So you can learn more, not only follow Legacy, but now follow Brett's journey too on our website as well.
Well, thank you so much, Brett, for joining us today. And thank you so much to all of our listeners, for joining us today on the Taking the Lead podcast. I'm Leslie Hoskins with hosts Timothy Cuneo and Christina Hepner. We hope you enjoyed learning about Brett and Legacy's story. Please join us next week as we continue to dive in the world of blindness.
Yes, and a reminder, we now have an email address, so if you have any questions or ideas, you can send them to takingthelead@leaderdog.org. And if you like today's podcast, make sure to hit subscribe, and you can check us out wherever podcasts stream.